Okay. The reading from Emmett Fox for July the 12th refers back to July the 11th. So I'm going to go ahead and read it for you, okay? And the yesterday's with what measure ye meet. With what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. And this is from Matthew chapter 7, verse 2. If the average person understood for a moment the meaning of these words, they would turn his or her everyday conduct inside out and so change him or her that in a comparatively short space of time, his closest friends would hardly know him or her. The plain fact is that it is the law of life that as we think and speak and act toward others, so will others think and speak and act toward us. Everything we do to others will sooner or later be done to us by someone, somewhere. Perhaps by someone who knows nothing of our previous action, but for every unkind word we speak about to or about another person, an unkind word will be spoken to or about us. Every time we cheat, we will be cheated, and every time we neglect a duty or evade a responsibility or misuse authority over other people, we are doing something for which we will inevitably have to pay by suffering a like injury ourselves. However, it is a poor law that does not work both ways. And so it is equally true that for every good deed that you do, for every kind word you speak, you will, in the same way, at some time or other, get back an equivalent. The golden rule in scientific Christianity is think about others as you would wish them to think about you. In the light of the knowledge, in the light of the knowledge that we now possess, the observance of this rule becomes a very solemn duty. But more than that, indeed, it is a debt of honor. And then today, July the 12th, the gospel. The student, having now gained an understanding of what the great law is and how it works, is in a position to take the next great step and understand how it is possible to rise above even the great law itself in the name of the Christ or the Christ consciousness. This does not mean that the laws of the physical or mental planes are broken. It means that a person, because of his essential divine selfhood, has the power of rising above these domains into the infinite dimension of spirit, where such laws no longer affect him. The law of reaping what one sows, often called the law of karma, is actually law for mind only. It is not law for spirit. In spirit, all is perfect and eternal, unchanging good. So a person has the choice of karma or Christ. And this is the best news that has ever come to mankind. And for that reason, it is called the glad tidings or the gospel. Karma turns out to be inexorable only as long as you do not pray. For any given mistake, you must either suffer the consequences, which we call being punished, or wipe them out by the practice of the presence of God. It must not be supposed, however, that the consequences of a mistake are to be cheaply evaded by a perfunctory prayer. Sufficient realization of God to alter fundamentally the character of the sinner is required in order to wipe out the punishment that otherwise must always follow upon sin. And when the sinner becomes a changed person and will not even desire to repeat the sin, then that is when he or she is saved, for Christ is Lord of karma. So be not conformed to the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. the will of the divine. That is from Romans 12, verse 2. And Lori is sharing with us today, and we are very grateful.
Thank you very much, Phyllis. I want to say to all of you, first of all, that the title of this is The Physics of God. And secondly, I don't understand a thing Phyllis just said. And that's because it's a bunch of words to me. Until I understand, until something really is applicable for me, it's a bunch of words. And I think that's the whole point of really core spirituality. And I think that's the point that my favorite teacher, Bill Donahue, makes when he takes apart the things that the Bible will say and shows how they are actually symbolic, allegorical, parable. They're not, they're not things about perfection on the human plane. And the way that it seems to come into real focus for me is when things make sense. And a lot of things have been proven scientifically, medically, that resonate with the idea that God is not some person sitting on a planet somewhere, but is instead an element. I don't even know how to talk about it. Nobody knows how to talk about it. It's an experience. God is something that you feel. God is not a teacher sitting there with a ruler slapping your hand when you get it wrong. Although that is generally how we tend to think about it. We tend to think about it that way because we've been trained to think about it that way. It's what's been brought to us through religion. Not through Jesus, not through spiritual truths, but through structures that say, here's how it must be. And structures that say, here's how it must be, make us small. They make us limited. They make us see ourselves in terms of, I can only have this if I do this. I can only acquire this if I do that. Even the concept of karma, which is an ancient concept, that what you do will come back to you. It tends to be translated in our minds through what I do, I'll be punished for. What I do good, I will receive good for. We're not machines. It does not work that way. It's not like I have to now be the perfectly fabulous person every single moment where I'm only doing good in order to get good. I like to say that we are a soup of energies. We are a soup of emotions, attitudes. It is said that the kingdom of God is within us, and I like to say that the kingdom is literal. It's your brain. These are the rooms of your kingdom, your brain, your nervous system, your heart, all of your organs. This is your kingdom. It's not like you've got this horrible human body and somewhere in here is something wonderful called the kingdom. No, it's you. And so a lot of ways that I hear the biblical readings, when they're not done with, let's look at what this could mean as the how-to of our bodies, our electromagnetic frequencies, our hearts, gives me agita because I instantly feel judged. And I know that each one of you has had a high experience or two in your life, if not more. You've fallen in love, or you've had an awakening of some kind. Something that shows you, that tells you unequivocally that high thing, it's not something that you do. It's sort of something that you make way for. And I came across a couple of videos in the last day that really were amazing. And one was about heart math. I don't know if you guys know the Heart Math Institute. But the idea, as much as I can understand it, because I have not done like a bunch of research, but everything starts in the spiritual heart. Now, let me see if I've got some notes here from the person who created Heart Math Institute. So he talks about the field. What we feed the field matters. So pause through the day, he says, and ask whether you're feeding it frustration and fear, or quote unquote the frequency spectrum of love. And he mentions compassion, kindness, and appreciation. This is the opposite of now I have to always be a good girl or a good boy. If I always have to be a good girl or a good boy, I have lost the thread. I've become self-policing. I've lost my infinity. I've lost my connection with the flow of life in its continuous pulsing and growing and expanding, and I'm trying to fit myself into one color of the spectrum. And I can feel that because I feel tense when I do that. I feel held back. But if I can start to noodle my way into, wow, I feel really held back. Let me see if I can bring something to that. Let me bring some compassion. Will that help me? No, I'm not very good at that at the moment. How about some appreciation of me? Yes, I appreciate that you're trying. That does give me a little bit of relief. It's what you're looking for. You're looking for that way to let yourself off of the hook. Because God is not a goal. God is your reality. And the heart math guy, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name, McCrory, I can't think of it right now. He said that the resonance of the living earth, which apparently is 0.1 hertz, that's exactly the same resonance as our human heart. Exactly the same. The magnetic field interconnection, one heart lifting another. You walk in, you are lit up, and the person across from you who's feeling down suddenly feels lifted. That magnetic field interconnection, this is also known as our nervous systems aligning with each other, responding to one another, gives you a physics basis for we are all connected. We are all connected electromagnetically. And so it is proven, it is scientifically proven that it is our brains are not what are running the show. You could never prove that by us. We are so busy trying to figure things out. We are so busy trying to be practical and find the 3 steps from here to joy, and we're never going to get there if we don't include how we feel. It's so simple that it's difficult. Oh, I feel this. I shouldn't feel that. It's immediate, this policing of ourselves. Oh, I'm angry at her. I shouldn't feel anger at her. I should understand. She's going through a hard time. Why can't I do both? Why can't I understand that she's going through a hard time and be goddamn angry? It doesn't mean I have to be mean. It doesn't mean I have to come down on her with a ton of bricks. But we police the hell out of ourselves, and we don't let ourselves be in the flow of our growth every day. And it was proven to me conclusively over the last 4 years. Once I healed the depression, the clinical depression. I've been in depressed states since a few times. One medically, a couple other were because of the things that were going on, situational. But I cured it within 2 days, not another 40 years. And that was because I'm not doing it from here. This is not first. And that's been shown in physics. It's been shown in so many ways. It's been shown that there's more here. And I had this opening today. I suddenly saw the symbol of the cross from a really interesting perspective. This morning I was doing I was doing my TikTok live. I have something called Mystic Soul Sunday on TikTok at 9 in the morning. And I will bring people like Abraham Hicks and Bill Donahue, and I will show like 20, 30 minutes of a video, and then we'll talk about it and get free from the dogma of religion that dogs us. It gets into every crevice. And pushing it out will never work. But anyway, I said to them this morning that healing is not about fixing us. It's not about shame. It's not about, I'm so ashamed to be me, therefore let me fix me, and then I'll be good enough for you to love. I'll be good enough to get God's mercy. And we can say all day long, I know, I get it. You might get it here, but your words, your behavior, your emotions are going to show you the lie all day long, and that's what you want to be aware of. Because every time you feel that, you want to interrupt that pattern with the truth of you. You want to interrupt it with yes, and. Yes, I feel you, and. I am that. I am one with that. Yes, and. I am made of the energy that creates worlds. Therefore, I am infinite. That should bring up better questions than what's wrong with me. That should bring up questions like, how do I access that? If that's true, then how do I live that? If that can be measured by instruments, Joe Dispenza does it with brain stuff for consciousness, for higher consciousness. This heart math guy does it with heart. It's like physics does it with quantum physics. It's the truth of who we are. And the most important thing, the easiest thing, in my opinion, is how do I feel? How am I feeling? Am I feeling tense? Am I saying things to myself that are really honestly making me feel just a little bit better? Or am I saying things to myself that when I say them, I'm making myself push against myself, which happens a lot. So it's not about, oh no, now I'm doing it wrong. It's about how can I once again do the work of bringing the mercy to me, enacting the divine things, the divine actions of compassion, love, humor, consideration, goofiness, laughter, passion. How can I bring these living God things that I am into my response to me? And so anytime I hear the Bible or the Quran or Kabbalah or anything, the Vedas, read without the accompanying delving into how it is useful, it all reads to me, it all translates to me as how this is how you should be comparing yourself to perfection and finding yourself wanting. And the fact is that there's nothing wrong with you. Fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with us. Am I having a painful back and hip right now? You bet your ass. Are all of us dealing with some kind of physical or emotional situation right now? You bet your ass. But that's not because something is wrong with us. Joel Goldsmith, once upon a time, back when he first started his ministry, a woman came to him in a hotel lobby. He didn't know her, she didn't know him, but she came up to him and said, I think if you pray for me, I will feel better. I will get rid of whatever her illness was. I don't know if it was a headache or if it was cancer. I don't know what she had. But She said, I think if you pray for me, I will be healed. And he looked at her and he said, okay, all right, we'll have a seat. He said, I didn't know any prayer other than now I lay me down to sleep. He said, I really didn't know how to pray. I didn't know what that was about. He said, but I knew one thing. I knew that I couldn't heal her and God could. And so all I did was I sat there with her and I said to God, I can't heal her, but I know you can. I know that you are all there is, and there is no illness. That's what I know. And a few minutes later, she stood up. She said, thank you very much. I feel great, and left. And this is really basically what he preached throughout the rest of his days, was there's only one power. There's only God. Anything that we're thinking, oh, I'm not worthy, it's all bullshit. It all comes out of religious teachings that taught us so that we could be wrangled like cattle. You have to come to us to get your answers. You have to pay us money, you know. And the idea that that the kingdom of God is within you, it's amazing that that's still in the Bible. It's amazing it was allowed to stay in the Bible, because that's the biggest piece of blasphemy to the church that you'll ever read. They do not want you to have your own power. And your power is smaller. It's so small. It's why we can't see it. It's so small. It's, I'm suffering in this moment. How can I bring care to this instead of going straight to, how can I make it go away? That takes humility. That takes compassion. That takes patience. All those things that are what the Christ is about. And we're not only worthy of that, we are worth. We have to have the courage to give ourselves the smallest, most compact bit of feminine power there is, which is the power of the Christ consciousness, to care and to understand that this is about us. It's about us physically. It's about us emotionally. And the cross, when we understand, as we understand bit by bit, by applying this kindness, compassion, mercy, as we do this for ourselves, we find ourselves getting bigger this way, realizing this illness, this problem, this worry, this pattern is not bigger than me. That I am the more that is bigger than it, and that is this part of the cross. This part of the cross is that once you're doing this, you are you're taking your hand off of what is stopping you from rising, and you immediately start doing this. And that is a different way to look at the cross. It is a living way to look at the cross. And most of all, it is confirmation that everything, the Bible, the Vedas, Kabbalah, Quran, every freaking thing, it's all about you. And it's all about you in your human body, with your human organs, and with all of the physics and the math and the science behind it. And to me, that seems like everything. Because if we keep looking everywhere but to ourselves, we'll never find it. And I think we are it. So why not find it?
Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. I took some notes and I'm like, wow, I'm glad I read Emmett Fox and it was a good jump off place for you. I think I'm going to have to listen to your talk again. It was one of the most stirring talks that I've heard from you. So thank you so much. I know Stefan just joined us, so welcome. And now is our time if we had anyone. Oh, okay, Christy, you are open. Can you unmute yourself or I'll do it for you? Let's
I
see.
got you.
Okay, hon. You
I
go
was
ahead.
trying to prop my phone up. I've been a chef for the last hour. By the way, that's my sculpture that I did. I had a good time with
Wow.
Yeah. And she's modeling in the background, so it was a nice picture to set up. So here's what I wanted to start with. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Wow, what year was that? What year did they write that? What year did we get to first hear that in our generation? That's the truth, and that's the full truth. I appreciated you, Lori. I appreciated everything that was shared. Thank you also for the reading. And so much came up, and I didn't take notes to write it down to pay attention to, because it was all that fleeting, wonderful stuff that, like, um, recently movies have been speaking to me, because the movies are also gemstones, whether we know it or not, whether it's Star Wars or it's, I also looking at each movie, that whether it was the never ending story, that also had, things along the way, that the path of the, what do you call that? Joseph Campbell had said it. What is that journey that goes through the portals? The hero's journey. I think it's the
Yes.
hero's. So we get all of these things that have been given to us, but we don't have the eyes to see or hear, because we're in the pain or we're in the journey. But the other part was too, and I wanted to catch a word when I heard it, healing. I'm going, I'm guilty of this too. But the ing means that it's an ongoing thing, and it hadn't happened. So the healing is not in that present moment of claiming that it's done. I've had a conversation in the last few days about the affirmations, and I love that we had, what's her name, if you will mention her name again with the book. She has also been a hero of mine from back when. And I can't read that while I'm talking, but thank you for the pop-up. You have used her for also some things that you'll read. The affirmations, we did it, and somebody did a talk on her, or she was spoken of on a Sunday. But affirmations that go way back. What?
Florence Scovel Shin.
Thank you very much. Yes. She was a practice for me in the very beginning of understanding that, could I stay in it, or could I really pop in enough with it? That's really the truth. I mean, we have so many different avenues. What's your taste? What's your color? What's your moment of just being able to relate to anyone? I think is where we're at right now. It's moving so fast. I'm excited. And even if it's in Mercury retrograde, I have to step aside and go, ouch, that really hurt. But I also get to decide now, do I need to continue to be in that environment where it's ouch, it hurts, or do I get to do my boundaries and my self-preservation or my healing to know I no longer need to be in that atmosphere, because that's what I'm facing right now. And it's a very hard place to be in. And I'm going, is it because it feels selfish? It's what I grew up in. Oh, that's got to be selfish if I'm not willing to be in that place of just taking on somebody else's aggravation of anger or whatever they're going through. I don't know. I don't know any of that, other than being present for myself when I wake up in the morning is that place of tapping. EFT is wonderful too, to come back to claiming the part of my emotion, my strength. I am, and I'm here now. It's not tomorrow, and it wasn't yesterday. It's right now. Because I had a friend on the phone earlier that's going through tremendous challenges of PTSD and the job that hurt and wounded and caused a lot of destruction, and the whatever, the money hasn't kicked in yet. Unemployment hasn't kicked in yet. So I'm listening, but I'm also aware, and being that witness, can I say some things to bring you to the present, to help in any way that I can? But anyway, thank you. Thank you very much for the ability to be here. And I wish everyone wellness, to be present to now, nowhere else but now. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. And thank you for sharing your beautiful sculpture. It's very beautiful, honey.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
All
Who
right.
else wanted to share? Leah, I could unmute you if you wanted to, honey. I know you're having trouble with that. Did you want to share something, Leah? There you go. I got you unmuted. But can't hear you for some reason. That's weird. Okay. Uh, Leah says the song of Row Row Your Boat came out in 1852. Leah, I'm sorry, you're unmuted on my screen, but we cannot hear you. Um, okay. I'm not sure what it is. But if you want to put something else in the text, I will gladly share that with the group. And did anyone else want to add something to the talk? Go ahead, Ellie.
I enjoyed the talk. It kind of showed the surface level of what scripture is when you're just reading it without any feeling or emotion to it. And I've never really been good at that. I've always looked at it deeper than that. So I'm always asking questions when I'm reading it. Or Phyllis, by the way, that was an excellent reading today. I felt that. Awesome stuff. And Lori, when you were talking, um, about everything, about being able to feel. Sometimes, we have to be able to give ourselves permission to do that. It's not always religion that caps those things that you were talking about today. Trauma has a big hand in that. And until we can come through that trauma, either through some form of therapy, counseling, unlift, self-healing, it's going to be really hard or challenging to be able to give ourselves permission. I mean, how many times on the simple surface, we see a sink full of dishes, how many times do we have to give ourselves permission to let them set? Because we're right, Phyllis, I see you smiling there. Because we're programmed that we have to do them right then. Well, who said? So it's kind of like the same way when we're entering that feeling and that emotional realm with the divine, whatever that looks like for you, the goddess, God, um uh, nature. We have to be able to give ourselves that permission. I mean, that's what I'm noticing. And to me, the simplicity of the Christ consciousness, is as simple as Abba and Ima, father and mother, showing their child love and compassion and mercy. I mean, that is a physical example of what all that looks like. And, the divine, the goddess, really good at giving us physical examples for the spiritual. So thank you, Phyllis, for allowing me to talk.
Okay. Anyone? Oh, Leah. Okay, Leah says Kyle Cease talks about allowing yourself to feel your emotions. And that's what Lori was talking about also, in terms of you can be angry, allow that person, they're going through whatever, but you have your own feelings and that you can acknowledge those feelings at that moment also, and you don't have to try to pretend they're not there. That's my version. And then I wrote down here, Lori, you said responding to yourself with kindness. I love this part, kindness, compassion, and mercy. That is so hard sometimes,
It is.
Yeah. Even just self-talk, talking to yourself about whatever it is that's going on. Extending that. I'm thinking of the prayer that Gary Pennington shared. Leah, you'll remember this, where you take your hand to your heart and you say 3 times, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. and that is extending compassion to yourself. And I don't know what's the right order for that. I get mixed up with the order of the I'm sorry, I forgive you, and all of that, but I guess it doesn't matter. Leah, you can put it in the chat and I'll read it. Anybody else? Charlie, Charlotte. Go ahead, Charlotte. I can unmute you, honey. You go ahead, Charlotte.
Yeah, I want to commence Laurie on her speech. I know I didn't get in till a few minutes late, but I got the majority of it. And I agree wholeheartedly with her speech today. We all are somebody because God made and created each and every individual to do his will. We are programmed by mankind wanting us to do their will. And man's not capable of even taking care of themselves. We have to take care of ourselves because we are God's individual. We are God's chosen vessels. We are here for a reason and a purpose to let the world know our God does live, and mankind doesn't want that to rest upon the universe. Why? I don't know. Because they can't even take care of themselves. Let's sit on somebody else. But if we don't take care of ourselves and look for where our help comes from, and while we are here and live out each and every day, every expectation of God's will through Jesus Christ, we won't make it. And I don't know why everybody's so afraid of knowing who God is. He is the universe. He is our Father. He is our mother. He is our teacher. He's our Savior. He's our love. He's our life. And we should want that. We enjoy living. Continue to live and stop letting some program your life. In Jesus' name. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. And Ellie has shared here, Lori has says, remember, that's why it's necessary to do it with a 1% improvement. And then Ellie, when we can show a child kindness, compassion, and mercy, we can show these things to ourselves. I guess I'm thinking lately as I'm growing older, that I still have the child within me, and I still feel childlike a lot. And I feel like I have to show that kid inside of me the kindness and compassion and mercy, you know. Anyone else here? Lori, go ahead. Lori Kay had her hand up, and then Siobhan.
Real quickly, then I just want to say that the 1% thing, it's when we've been programmed to look only at the goal as being a completion instead of the goal being every moment that we can give ourselves a moment of relief. And in physics, in the physics aspect of this, in the energetic, every time you meditate, every time you give yourself deliberately a moment of relief, you have literally transformed. Not knowing that makes it take longer, I think. Because we're like, well, I just had a moment, so what? But whenever you do anything deliberately and with focus, that elevates yourself and you feel the difference. Even if it's this much of a difference, does not matter. Those differences, those amounts, over a period of 5 days, healed 40 years of clinical depression. And I'm not special. Not that way. I'm special in other ways. But this way, we're all the same.
Thank you, Lori. And then Chiffon, and forgive me if I'm not saying your name correctly. Here, let me see if I can help unmute you. There you go. You're unmuted.
Thank you. Yes, and you're saying my name exactly right. I just
Okay.
wanted to say I missed the talk, but everybody's comments have been so powerful and um, full of like spirit that I wish I hadn't missed it. And it was like I got a good a lot from everybody's comments. That's all I wanted to say. That
This will
everybody
be online.
comments.
It'll be online so you can look at the talk.
Okay, great. But yeah, I see. Yeah, I remember they're the on the website. I can get to
Yes.
them. Everybody's comments have been so emotion filled that I really want to hear what the talk and reading were. Guys, thanks for sharing, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here.
Oh, thank you.
All right, friends, if we're ready, unless there was anyone who didn't wanted to say something. Christy, did you have another comment before we go into our meditation? Go ahead.
Yes, please. I had seen something because I'm very visual, and so the art or the videos or even AI is really stirring a lot for me. And there was an image of the synapses between maybe one point where the network was the cell to the other cell, but there was like a tentacle between. And it had said it's only 20 nanometers, which happens to be beyond concept as to how thin that is between this synapses and that synapses. And they were trying to show in thinking of that, that's how close it is between what I'm thinking, what I'm asking for, and how it occurs. So that distance between what I want is so minuscule. In essence, it's like the grain of sand that you can't even comprehend as far as how small that is. But the other part of it is what you want wants you more because it's already been prayed into existence or asked in a way that in your emotional level, you know that you have already asked for it, but you're not conscious of it. So it's wanting you as much as you're wanting it, and making that connect is allowing the synapses to take place. The other part of that is realizing walking around, and there's stirred times right now. And it's easy for me to get into the storm of being angry or hostile or just the explosiveness of whatever is mimicking, or what I can mimic what's going on the outside of me. And the storm is in my house. The fire is really hot, and I can be resistant, but I can also come back to the place of what EFT, and I invite people to look up EFT because it's online to show you what to go through. But what you were showing me with Gary was similar as far as what he was doing and the response. And forgiving myself was paramount one day. So that's the part of getting to the level of knowing I will self-destruct or I have to come back to self-forgiveness. And I think I will end on that. And I thank you very much.
Okay,
Love
thank
you all.
you too. Thank you, Christy. Now's our time for a prayer, prayers for others and for ourselves. And so, since I mentioned it, I'm going to invite us to take a moment and to put ourselves first, each one of us, wherever we are, and to quietly do if you would like, or if this works for you, the I love you, I love you, I love you to yourself, hand on your heart. I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Thank you, Thank you. Thank you. And then I would like to take a moment for us to think of the others in our world, and we can include the world in our prayer. All of those in the circle who are in our own universe, who are in need of our prayers. Let's bring them to mind. Dear Father, Mother God, you know our hearts and our minds. You know all the people that we carry with us, within us. You know the child within each one of us and the adult and all the versions of ourselves we carry. And you know the parts that need healing, the parts that need the light shining upon them. So we want to raise up, Lord, into your hands ourselves and all of those that we care about and those maybe that we don't care about who need our prayers, but are in great need of your care and your love and your light. So we want to put all of these beings, all our concerns, our worries, everything into the hands of the divine, trusting in the great power, the one love, to bring everything into right order, into healing, into peace, into your grace. Lord, we lift our earth up to you. Can visualize it, our entire earth. We put it into your hands. We ask for your light, your healing, your love, and your grace and your peace to surround this great marble in the sky, the earth, and bring peace and everything that's needed to bring this earth into the greatest balance and the highest good. And I pray in the name of the one divine, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right. I think the next part of our service is our forgiveness, which we kind of did. Forgive ourselves. But I'll light a little fire here. Take a moment to imagine anything forgiveness that needs to go on this piece of paper, and I'm going to set it on fire, put it out to the universe. And I better lift it high enough so it doesn't cause a problem. There it goes. It went down with a swirl. So, okay. And now, friends, it's time for our gratitude. And so, Leah, if we could start with you. I don't know. I'm going to try again to unmute you, Leah, and then we'll go to Safan. Leah, you want to try again? No, we don't hear you. Okay, will you put it in the chat, what's your gratitude, and then I'll read it in a moment, okay? Okay. Before we start, Laura, okay. Safan, are you ready to do a gratitude, honey, or should I come back to you? Go ahead, you're unmuted.
Okay.
Are you in the hospital, my dear?
Yeah.
Okay. You doing okay? Getting help?
Uh, uh, yeah. So.
Okay. So we will keep you in our prayers.
Thank you. I am grateful for healing. I know that I will get better. It will take time after having, 2 surgeries in 2 weeks. It's going to take time, but I know that it will happen. And I'm grateful for that knowledge, knowing that God's not going to leave me alone. There will always be someone, and I know that I have the helpers. Look for the helpers when you need it.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful I know that, So that's it. I'm grateful for my wife. She's been helping incredibly. Taking off work. We both have been off of work. But I know we're going to be okay. I know that, God's not going to leave me alone. They say I haven't come this far to fail now.
Yeah.
So I know that there is a rainbow after this storm, to say.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm going to get through this. It's, I'm not, I am, I do get scared, and I do go through, oh, our virtual nurse is coming in. Can you mute me again? Hi. Can I be muted again? My virtual nurse just came in.
Okay, Chiffon. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
sharing. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Okay. Sylvie, and then Ellie.
Okay. I'm grateful for spending time with my family and friends yesterday and today. We planned a little outing. We went to pick some lavender, um, had a picnic, just had fun all the way around. And yeah, that's about it. I have other things that I'm very grateful for. Kind of like reopened my eyes. I listened to a podcast yesterday about a lot of what I kind of heard, allowing yourself to feel how you feel, agreeing with it, understanding it. But the times that we live in really take a toll on our nervous systems. And I was watching something that had to do with medicinal herbs, nervines, and then talking about adaptogens. And, that brought back a lot of memories as far as my training goes. And I am going to circle back to that. And that was really an aha moment for me. Like I've heard it all before, but sometimes you just need to hear it again. And the way it was presented to me really opened my eyes. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Sylvie.
Welcome.
Okay, Ellie, and then let's go to Lori R.
I'm gratitude for continuous healing. There's always healing that can happen. It's not just a one-time thing and you're done with that thing that you're healing from. It's in layers, like an onion. They say life is like that, but I know that healing is like that as well. And along with that continuous healing, the shadow work, or for some that aren't familiar with that term, looking inside and going deeper. And those areas in our lives that we don't like, or those things that people told us about ourselves that made them feel uncomfortable, how we're too sensitive or too expressive or too, all those type of things. How we can go in and accept those things and integrate them into who we are now and accept those gifts. So continuous healing and shadow work is what I'm grateful for.
Okay, Lori R. and then Christy.
I'm thankful for this group. It's an encouragement to me every week and something that I look forward to. And I so appreciate, Laura, your message tonight. I was like Phyllis, I just put my pen down and started listening. You have to hear the meat of it sometimes, and I'll go back and re-listen to it. I'm sure I'll get more from it that way. And Christy, I want to thank you for an aha moment tonight. You said, what you want wants you more. And I can't tell you how badly I needed to hear that today. And so thank you. And just to everybody for always sharing your heart. I know I say this a lot, but it means so much to me. I've been parts of groups before where people, hold back and they don't really share from their heart. And I love that everybody in this group shares directly from your heart. And Shafan, I'm going to be surrounding you with healing energy and prayer. And if you're where you can hear me, if you ever want to have a healing session, reach out to Brian and Phyllis. They know how to get in touch with me. We're covering you in prayer.
Great. Christy, before I forget, I'm gonna read Leah's and her gratitude, then you go next, okay? And then Lori Kay, and then we'll go to Charlotte. This is from Leah. I am grateful that my nephew came by to see me. We talked for more than 15 minutes. Yes, that's wonderful. Grateful that my lung doctor's going to check out why I have no energy, and very thankful for air conditioning. Ditto, ditto, ditto. Yes, Lori, yeah, we got a lot of dittos on that, Leah. Okay, and then Christy, your turn. And I can unmute you if you need. You got it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel guilty to be in a nice climate. I just
Enjoy.
I'll take on that. What's that little guy, the pig pin that carries the blanket, and this like all the dust is coming in the background. Like I'm taking on the suffering. But I've had a nice climate, by the way. It will get its hotness here, but God bless you all. When I think of moving, it's like, maybe I should just be here. Earthquake, whatever. Anyway, my gratitude is to be where I'm supposed to be. And that so far, nothing has moved me to be anything different or anywhere. I'm having a good time and realizing that the creative part of who I am is really astounding, driving me into a place that I haven't really been before, and that I'm willing to take up the staff and do whatever with it. And also that this group is here, that we are family. You are my family. And I am overly grateful for that, because I recognize the people that I may know and those who are out there who do not have an other person to be able to relate to or to call into that moment of just being intimate in any way, shape, or form, just being their person with them. It hurts me. It hurts me a lot. But I recognize we have what we have together, and that's really awesome because we get to spark each other. And this group really rocks. There is just not much to get past this group at all that is going to be so far out in space. We are tapped in. We're tuned in to each other in a beautiful way. And I give thanks for that. I appreciate the technology. That is just really light years beyond what I'm going back on a lot of memories, and that's also serving me in a good way. But the memories of where we were at one time when we had a cord that we were standing up against the wall or sitting it on the table and talking on a telephone. And I had to have at least 20 feet so I could move around the room. So what we have in technology now is so amazing. We see each other. Oh my God. Thank you. And blessings to all of you. And I'm always around. If you want my telephone number, ask for it. If there's anything I can do just to be that you can be heard, or I am with you on holding that energy, whatever it is, I'm available. Use me.
Thank you, Christy. Okay, Lori Kay and then Charlotte.
I'm always so grateful to be seen, to really truly be seen deeply. And Phyllis, you gave me that tonight, so thank you. Yeah, it kind of confirms my existence in a deep way that our culture of not connecting doesn't usually give us. So when it happens, it's, oh, lifeblood. I'm also grateful that I still have my car. It was vandalized, and I did manage to get it back. Thank God they couldn't hotwire it and steal it. So I'm grateful that instead of being without a car or having to buy another car, I'm only out $190 and a plastic bit of the front of it where they took it all out and the wiring's all showing. And the worst has happened to me, so I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful also that my landlady, who has the house next door as well, caught them on camera. So, oh well.
Great. Thanks, Lori. Charlotte, and then we'll come to this room. Oh, I'll unmute you, Charlotte. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, honey, we can hear you now.
Thank you for the end of my life and thanking and blessed the joy of Jesus Christ. I want to say to Lori Kay, I don't know what room you're in, but you need to stay there because you see like you're in heaven as you were speaking today, and your light so shine all over. You radiate like a hummingbird. This is the light of mine, Lord. I'm gonna let it shine. This is the light of mine, Lord. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, Lord. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. May God bless each and every one of my sisters and brothers in Christ, even those that I don't know. God bless you in Jesus' name. Be safe.
Thank you, Charlotte. Okay, we're back here. Paul, you got a gratitude?
I've been trying to put it in words.
Hmm.
It just seems like whatever happens, there's something else that can take its place.
Okay, so good.
I guess it just means there's more things to go on than you never get a rest.
Okay. Okay, Mary?
Well, I'm grateful for all the people that share things here. Also grateful that as warm as it is out, apparently everywhere else is having even just god awful hot weather or horrible floods or fires. And so We had a gentle rain last night up north and northeast. People were flooding in the streets. So I feel very blessed.
Great. I'm grateful to be here tonight. And I'm grateful for Brian and for appointments that have been made so that they can find out what the heck's going on. And grateful for all the basic needs. My needs are met every day, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful the other night we got to see a beautiful night blooming cereus, which was just amazing. And my nephew was able to videotape it, and if I can get that, I'll try to have Brian send that out, or it may be a YouTube video, but it's very beautiful. And anyway, so I'm grateful for this group. And also, I also am able to periodically attend Unity of Garden Park, and I'm grateful for the spiritual food that I get from that place also. All right, friends, here we are, and it is good. And I think it's time for an affirmation. I'm going to share one affirmation, and then maybe we'll go ahead and do our prayer for protection and see what messages we have for one another. I'm going to read the first abundance affirmation. I willingly and joyfully accept that I am part of a divine plan. That plan includes health, love, happiness, success, abundance, and complete self-expression. I'll read it one more time. I willingly and joyfully accept that I am a part of divine plan. And that plan includes health, love, happiness, success, abundance, and complete self-expression. And then may we join together in saying the prayer protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we are so very grateful. And so be it. Amen. So it's now time for messages or from the Spirit or from your readings for one another or for the group. And I'll wait a few minutes for people to kind of gather their thoughts. And if there's something that needs to be in the chat, I'll try and keep that up too, Leah. I'm so sorry that you're okay.
Or was Leah going? Is that what's happening? No?
Okay. No, I'm just looking through the chat. But Charlotte, I just want to say Lori had a message for you. She sang harmony with you. And Charlotte, my entire room got reoriented, so you just confirmed me big time too. One of the two couches in my living room was taken out and everything got moved around to get it out of here. And I'm reorienting everything in my room. So it must be heaven there, Lori, as Charlotte was saying.
It must be heaven.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I have a reading for the group,
Thank
or I
you.
have a card for the group. It came out upside down, which simply means internal. It doesn't mean anything bad. It's the Three of Wands. If you want to see this bigger, all you have to do is hover your, what's it called? The little thingy over my picture, click on the three dots and click the word pin, and it'll make my image bigger and you can see the card better. This card has to do with what you would imagine. It's looking to new horizons. We've made the choice, you guys. We've made the choice to leave the old ways of being and thinking, the limitations, we've left the addiction to it. How do I put it? We're in the process of divorcing it. We're in the process of having a relationship with light and love, and it's happening quickly. This is the Chariot card. It's happening very quickly. So if you feel thrown, just be gentle. It's really all we've got is be gentle and connect with each other. We need to connect with each other and help each other.
Thank you, Lori. I'm seeing that Christy put her phone number in the chat. If anyone would like to write it down, I've got it, and is inviting anyone to reach out to hold a moment with her or to be heard. I love that, Christy. Thank you for sharing that. I recently, along that same vein, and I'm want to hold space here for anyone else who wants to share, but I recently, along the vein of what Christy has offered, is I attended a discussion at the recovery group. Leah's trying to give me a say. Okay, Leah, I'll go down. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Leah is saying things are not meant to be the same. She says it was Ellie. Yeah. Does that make sense, Ellie? Things are not meant to be the same. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if Siobhan is still listening or not,
I
but
don't, she said something about a visiting nurse, so I don't know. Okay, this is for everyone. Things are not meant to be the same. Yes. Right, in these times, I think you mean, Leah. Ellie had her hand up. Ellie, go. Thank you, Leah.
The card that I pulled is, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's called the altar.
what happened?
We lost her, but I just readmitted her, so she's coming back in.
Okay.
We lost you for a minute, Ellie.
Okay, technology. It's all right. Anyway, it's the altar. Can you guys see the picture?
Yes,
Wait a-
it's gorgeous.
Here, okay, I want to pin you.
Hold
So
on, let me. Yeah. Yes, if you pin her, and I'll put a picture of it in the chat that you all can click on
okay.
and make it bigger, okay?
And what it reminds us to do is, to create a space to come in contact with your more spiritual side. It's a liminal space, a threshold through which you can dialogue with the divine. And that's important because I don't know about everybody else, but sometimes I get caught up in the physical, and not that I forget the spiritual, but I tend to not make time for the spiritual when I'm busy. I mean, I know it's there, but to make that momentary time of, oh, breathe. And I'm sure everybody knows that part when they're busy or they get low in energy and they're like, what happened? Well, that spiritual side we forgot about momentarily. But anyway, if you pick this card, it means you need to create a space of communication between yourself and the spiritual realm, opening yourself up to the subtle messages of the universe. So that's just a reminder that for everybody that, we need to open ourselves up for those subtle messages. And they call them subtle messages because they're just that. They're subtle. They're not the 2x4. They're not the Gibbs slaps. They're, the very minute things that we can miss.
Thank you, Ellie. I would say the still small voice also, that speaks. Yes. All right. Any other messages? Thank you, friends. Sylvie. Yes, go ahead, Sylvie.
I picked a card. I'm not sure if you can see it. It is from the Hidden Realms, Guides
it
of
there
the
for a
Hidden
minute.
Realms. And
Hold it there for a
Pull it
minute,
up
hon.
again, yeah.
Okay.
you got it?
Yep,
Okay.
got it.
And it says flow state, trusting in the adventure, the river dances to the sea. And I can read a little bit about it. And it kind of talks to what we were talking about, which is no mystery at all. It's always the way it is. Movements and the continuous evolution of life is a given. Nothing can stay blocked or frozen forever. Eventually, the river begins to flow in the direction of the destiny, always to the sea. That vast container teeming with potentiality, source is always calling you home to your ultimate manifestation and destiny. I just thought,
Beautiful.
how appropriate.
Yeah. Very much like Leah's message. Things are not meant to be the same or to stay the same,
I know.
that flow. And we sometimes want to hang on to what we think is the status quo.
Change is hard sometimes.
Yes, it is. Okay. Thank you. Oh, we've got the cards in the chat right now, so be sure to take a look-see. And I'm not going to close things up too quickly here so that people have the opportunity to look. And
Charlotte has something to say.
okay, Charlotte. Yes, honey.
Hold on, you're not off of mute yet, babe.
Hang on, Charlotte. I'll do that in a second. I'm finding you. There you go. There you go, Charlotte.
I like Christy's number, and you can give her mine as well.
Okay. Okay, so your number. So if you didn't put it in the chat, so if you would like Charlotte's number, I can you can text Brian and I can give you Charlotte's number. Thank you, Charlotte. Do you want to give it to me right? You want to say it out loud? I'll write it down or put it in.
Yes. 513
Gotcha.
903
Okay.
2908.
Okay.
And may I have Christie's?
Oh, sure. I guess it's hard to see here. Anybody seeing Christie's there?
949
Okay.
510 5675.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And I think there's an announcement here. Also, Lori, that's from you. There's a workshop coming up called Healing is Not a Someday.
Yep, that's on the 21st of this month.
Okay, it's about living a healed life rather than a life in which you hope someday you may experience healing. A healed
Yes.
life is about being able to give yourself that kindness, that healing on a daily basis. And there's Lori's got a link there in the message. So you might want to take a look at that in your chat if you can. And Lori, if you send that over in the email, your link for that and a little synopsis, I'll see if Brian can't send that out.
Thanks, hon.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And Lori R. had something to say? Is that
Yes,
correct,
Lori, go
Lori?
ahead, honey.
I have a message for Christy. Christy, I see the devil and the angel up here having a debate on the outside. Then it turns into light and darkness, and I see it in your head. I have to assume that means there's been a lot of internal debating going on within you. And your word is you already have the answers within. Don't seek them from without. You have the answers.
Thank you, Lori. Let's come to a close. And does anyone sitting here have a prayer in mind or would be willing to close us out? Ellie
Sure. Ellie or me?
or Lori? Lori,
I
go
don't
ahead.
care. Ellie, you want to go?
You did too.
We thank you for this opportunity to be able to come together and share and communicate our needs and to be this wonderful connection of how we're supposed to be, not separate. We bring to you the many things, or many concerns that we know about. Phyllis is a caregiver to Brian. Brian's healing. Lori R's healing and continued strength from her cancer treatments. Norm for his breathing. Leah and Siobhan. And the blessings as well. The blessings for the healing, the blessings that Lori's car was returned to her and nothing was, too bad. And the continual healing and answers that we're all seeking. And we ask as we leave this space that this connection will continue to be with us. And we just, we're overwhelmed and overjoyed with the many gifts that we represent with the I Am. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.